The week 7 video for the course. I'm going to try to speak a little bit more quickly than usual and make this one shorter because they've been taking me like 3 days to upload to YouTube, and because they're usually so big, I can't upload them to Moodle. So I'm hoping that maybe if you have questions, you can just replay certain sections. So this week we're looking at the Articles of Confederation government. The Revolutionary War is over, and now it's up to these Americans to establish a government for themselves. And the first thing they come up with is the Articles of Confederation government. And essentially, the 13 now states look to each other as friends. They're not really bounded by anything. They're going to sort of do their own thing, have a common government, but that government's going to be extremely weak when they come to find out the problems that they have to deal with. So this week, I want you to pay special attention to the problems of the Articles of Confederation government and what it does that leads certain individuals, specifically James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and Thomas Jefferson. What events, what problems come up that cause these three men to all think it's time to do something different? So this week, we'll see the Articles of Confederation come and go, and then we'll see the Articles of Confederation give way to the U.S. Constitution. So we'll be really delving into the Constitution this week. I've put here your first writing assignment overview. So this week I'm asking for you to just read through this. This focuses on all those documents that I asked you to read last week. And essentially what I'm asking you to do here is to write me a 1,300 word paper, an essay, and you answering this question here. So I'm giving you this statement. I'm saying to you, the American Revolution was not a revolution. It was not changing enough. If you look back at last week's video, I talk about this a little bit. There was not enough substantial change for this to actually be considered a revolution. Instead, we should only call it a war for independence, meaning that the only thing that changed was that the American colonies gained their freedom from Great Britain, and they just went about doing everything the way it had been done before. You can say right now, I completely agree with him. He is spot on. Or you can say to yourself, he could not be more incorrect. And that's perfect. If you disagree with me, great. If you agree with me, great. I do actually have an opinion here. I won't tell you what it is. But I want you to answer this question. Do you think the American Revolution was a true revolution? There was wide sweeping change. It was an event that changed the course of history. Or was this just one country gaining its independence and things stayed the same? For you to continue with this essay, you need to think about the people represented down here. Did things change for African Americans? Did things change for women? Did things change for the poor? Did things change for the uneducated? So using these documents, and I would definitely include as many of these as possible, I want you to answer that question above. And I'm going to talk about this in a separate video next week, and I'm going to kind of outlay what I'm looking for specifically. But do please start getting some thoughts together. This is how I'll be grading it. I do want you to include at least 9 of the course readings. You can include Foner. You can include the Freeman lectures, Joanne Freeman's lectures. So those would be included if you cite those. If you want to just pick 9 of these, that's even better. We'll be reading Chapter 7 of Foner's book, Give Me Liberty. The reading this week is just, I want you to read the U.S. Constitution. Take your time with this and try to understand as much as you possibly can. This is the governing document of the United States, of our government. So I really specifically want you to read the first 3 articles. The first article outlines the legislative branch. The second article outlines the presidency. And the third article outlines the judicial branch. And then you can skip the next couple articles and go right to the amendments. I would like you to read the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, known as the Bill of Rights. And you'll be using your knowledge of the Constitution to participate in discussion 7. So for discussion 7, I want you to tell me something that surprised you, that shocked you, that you didn't understand. Essentially, I'm just looking for you to read the first 3 articles of the Constitution and make a posting here that tells me something that stood out to you, something that you have more questions about, something that you didn't know. So I'm not looking for you to find something specific, but just something that you can kind of have something to talk about. So your first post should be 175 words, and your follow-up to one of your group members should be 75 words for that. I'm going to have this week, we're going to finish up with the Yale course, Dr. Freeman's course, so I'd like you to watch those 3 lectures. These will be really helpful to you in answering the reflection questions for this week. And those should open here. There's just 4 of them, but they give a nice overview of everything that we'll be looking at this week with the Articles of Confederation, the Constitution, and the Anti-Federalist. So if you have any questions, please check in. I've started reading the midterm assignments. Those are looking decent. I'll have more to say about those, and I'll have specific feedback to give to you later in the week. So again, looking forward to participating with you and hearing your feedback on the Constitution and all of the things that go along with that. Any questions, please email me, and I'll see you online.